There are tons of ways to track, hunt, and trap the creatures of Monster Hunter World, and one of the most valuable skills you can have as a hunter is your ability to make something from nothing. Here's how to make the most of the crafting system in Monster Hunter World. Crafting is a huge part of surviving the new world, and while there are some really unique items you can make later on, the basics of how it works are pretty simple. You find items out in the world, their locations are static so you'll always know where to find them, then combine them with other items you find and turn those into something useful. Some of these creations are then used to craft other items, and some can be augmented by adding certain elements. Honey, for example, is not just delicious and goes great on pretty much everything, it's a super versatile crafting component. Add honey that you've collected from around the world to any potion, first aid item, or nutrient to soup it up and boost the healing effect the item has on you. Similarly, adding a blue mushroom to an antidote serum will create a medicine that not only cures poison but also restores health, and does so in a fraction of the time that it usually takes. Thanks to their healing properties, you'll always want to keep a supply of antidotes, herbs, and honey on hand in case you run out of potions. While many items can be found throughout each region, you can also learn to farm certain resources in a botanical garden in Astera once you progress far enough in the story, and you can learn to harvest more unique specimens as you complete optional quests. This will help you avoid having to spend time searching for basic items like herbs and honey out in the field. It's worth noting that while you can eventually produce most plants and bugs at your botanical garden, you can't farm any monster materials. These are rarely used in crafting, but keep your eyes peeled for arowana and gunpowder fish scales. You're also unable to farm ivy at your garden, so make sure to collect any of that you find while on an expedition. You can also quick craft items by adding recipes to your radial item menu. Simply open the Customize Radial Menu screen from the pause menu and select an empty slot. You can tab over to Crafting Recipes in the item screen and choose one of the many helpful recipes that you've unlocked. This is helpful, though ultimately a bit redundant, since if you don't have any of the item you want to craft, when you select the item itself in the radial menu, not the recipe, it'll automatically craft one if you have enough ingredients. Similarly, you can toggle the super handy auto-craft feature in your crafting list in the pause menu. This sets it up so that whenever you acquire ingredients to make a new item, the items will automatically combine in your inventory to make that item. This doesn't work for combining items that are already in your inventory, just when you pick up a new ingredient that gives you enough to craft whatever item you like. In Monster Hunter's past, certain high-level items took not just materials, but also more than a bit of luck to craft. Without combo books, you'd face a lower success chance for the item to come out right, or else just be a useless mess. Not only this, but all those books and ingredients would take up way too much of your precious inventory space. Thankfully, in World, all that's been chucked out the window. While there may be ingredients that are harder to find than others, there's no longer a pass-fail system when it comes to making more potent tonics, traps, or bombs. Since you aren't able to upgrade your carrying capacity, you'll need to learn to manage your inventory. A big part of this is to make sure you leave camp with as little in your inventory as possible. Obviously, you'll need to plan your loadout for the hunt you're going on, but try to get as much crafting done before leaving camp so that you can avoid wasting space with backup ingredients. Setting up auto-crafting for items you know you'll use a lot of is useful here too. If your pack does get full, however, you can always head back to the tent while on a mission to unload. Lastly, since there is such limited inventory space, you'll want to avoid picking up any unnecessary or unuseful items. Once you've got a good handle on how you like to play and what weapons you favor, make sure you don't pick up items that you know you'll never use. Don't like using bowguns? Then don't bother picking up certain berries or nuts that are only used to craft bowgun ammo. Maybe instead you favor quick-paced melee attack, so make sure you stockpile every nitro shroom and might seed that you can to keep your attack and stamina high. No matter how you play, there's always going to be plenty to find and build throughout the game. Always keep experimenting and always be on the lookout for helpful new recipes. Have any crafting tips we missed or recipes you love? Let us know in the comments or on our wiki, and for more monster hunting madness, including 17 things Monster Hunter World doesn't tell you or our guide to the best weapons for newbies, be sure to subscribe and stick around on IGN.